right, thank you so much. Welcome to another episode of the Sales Story and a Tip podcast. My name is Fred Diamond. Of course, I'm the co-founder of the Institute for Excellence in Sales and the host and the producer, not just of this podcast, Sarah, but also of the Sales Game Changers podcast, of which we've done over 700 episodes. This is the Sales Story and a Tip podcast, where I bring on a sales leader. I ask them to tell us a great sales story. And then I say, tell us a tip that you learned from that story. It's under 10 minutes. And the stories so far we've heard, Sarah, they're very motivational, inspirational. Sometimes they're touching and sometimes they're lessons learned, but we're very excited here. So I want to let people know that the podcast is available in audio on Apple Podcasts, wherever it is get your podcasts. If you're listening on Apple, please go up, give us a 5-star review. We would greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. Give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate that as well. All right. So I have Sara Chen with Oracle, and I'm going to ask her to tell us a great sales story. But first, Sara, why don't you give us a brief introduction?
Yeah, thanks. So as you said, my name is Sara Chen, and I currently manage one of Oracle Cloud's field teams for AI machine learning. So what we do is we sell to core AI startups and high growth companies across North America. Outside of work and what I do now, I'm born and raised in the East Bay area of California. Since then, I've completed my undergrad at Cal Poly State University in San Luis Obispo with a business information systems degree. And since I graduated, I started at Oracle right away in their entry-level SDR program back in 2018. From there, I progressed as an SDR, did the whole deal, went to be an account executive covering like an SF Silicon Valley territory, and have become a manager for that same territory. Most recently, this past year is where I landed managing a team on the Oracle Cloud's AI side of the business.
All right. I want to let people know that Oracle is also an Institute for Excellence in Sales, premier women in sales employer. All right. So, Sara Chen, tell us a great sales story.
I'd be happy to. So let me take you guys back a few years into my career at Oracle. After my time as a SDR and a sales account executive, I became a frontline manager for one of our commercial territories for the San Francisco, Northern California Bay Area region. So this is back in 2021 or so. And if you followed tech in the Silicon Valley the past 5 or 10 years, which I'm pretty confident that you have, Fred, you'll remember that this was a very interesting time in technology, and specifically AI, because it was just at the early tipping point of what traditional AI and machine learning had been for the past 1 to 2 decades. That was very research-oriented work, where we saw this research from even in 2018, 2017 timeframe when the Google Brain team published the Attention is All You Need paper. That paper alone really revolutionized into how deep learning can be used for natural language processing. And so it was right around that time, again, in the late teens and early 2020s, where we saw this shift take place into the world now, seeing the power of large language models, AI, artificial intelligence at large, even in forms like ChatGPT in 2022, really take force in how it can evolve all industries, workers, and world problems at large. So again, back in 2021 is in my first year of managing my team, I was fortunate to be able to work and onboard the first 3 or 4 Oracle Cloud's flagship AI customers that are now leaders in the market. And that was due to a few key factors at the time, such as, one, the timing of this market shift that I just mentioned, and what's now referred to as the next biggest technology revolution since the dot-com boom. Another factor in terms of us working with them is I was so happening to be already managing and overseeing companies in San Francisco and the Silicon Valley as a territory. Taking those 2 factors coupled with Oracle's already existing unique strength and position in this market because of our superior infrastructure and technology that we've been building on for decades, our enterprise support and resources, and of course, the top-notch sellers on my team, mixed with some luck and opportunity. That was what really led us to, again, win these early AI deals and customers. Now, what I learned during this sales cycles, when I learned from these companies, was that it was very different from working with any other company that I've worked with before. So, a few things there was that these sales cycles moved incredibly fast. These AI startups had very small executive teams that wore multiple business hats, and that we had a seat at the table with them right away, given the nature of them being startups. I also noticed in these early on cycles that performance and economics were a major driver in terms of them working with a given vendor. And this was largely due to the limited supply and high demand of high performance computing that's required for these artificial intelligence workloads, such as GPUs for training large language models. Another takeaway that I had from that alone was that these deals and these, I guess, use cases for AI, although very complex solutions at the end of the day, the technology underneath had a more simplified architecture and repeatable use case that, again, led to the growth of this business for Oracle and also contributed to the deals moving very quickly. And then I think a last really important thing to note was that these core AI companies live in a very small ecosystem as early leaders in the space. So the level of support, brand recognition, and word of mouth really mattered, which was a refreshing change from maybe other sales cycles I've been involved with at Oracle, working with big traditional SaaS companies that have decades of systems and third-party applications and more complex architectures and commercial restrictions, et cetera. So I want to highlight these stories because these early wins in 2021 were a bit of a wake-up call to Oracle, saying, whoa, this is just the beginning of where AI is heading, and that it's not only a highly lucrative business, right, but more importantly, it's a really strategic pursuit that we are already well equipped to grow at exponential levels. At that point in time, in that 2021 phase, I saw Oracle quickly mobilize a specialized engineer and business teams for supporting these AI companies and all other enterprises eager to adopt AI across various aspects of their business. Now, fast forward to today, there's over a 40-person AI business and engineering organization at Oracle, a new suite of AI products and solutions across every layer of the full stack that we offer. Oracle's also made key partnerships with leaders in the space, such as NVIDIA and Cohere. And now we have upwards of 50 plus companies working with Oracle for AI machine learning use cases. That is now a multi-billion-dollar business. So that is the catch-all story that I think is really important to highlight.
So I guess I'm kind of curious, why did you originally go to Oracle to work? And you went to San Luis Obispo. I worked at Apple Computer for a number of years, way before you were even born, probably. And actually, a lot of the engineers that we had went to Caltech, and yep. So I got to know a lot of the. Again, this was in the late '80s, early '90s. But I'm just kind of curious, why did you choose to go to Oracle?
Yeah, so going back to college days for myself, again, majored in business information systems, so I knew I wanted to be in technology. I think problem solving overall was really exciting to me. And it was actually after an internship I did my junior year at Cliff Bar Company, the energy bar company, where I was on the business intelligence team. I was doing coding behind a desk, and I was like, this isn't for me. I have my people skills. I love relationship building. But I knew I wanted to stay in technology. And so when my senior year of college, I got connected with Oracle, and I heard that they had an entry-level sales cloud, team that they were hiring for. That seemed to be the sweet spot. I can't say at the time I knew for sure what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, of course, but I knew at Oracle I would have the foundation of resources and learning and growth opportunities early on that I really cared about. And I think that led me to not just go to Oracle, but stick around all these years. And as you just heard me say, I've taken on multiple different opportunities and roles, which has been awesome to my own development.
So before I ask you for the tip that you took away from those stories, again, I mentioned that Oracle is an IES, Institute for Excellence in Sales, premier women in sales employer. What will be your advice if somebody is considering starting their career in technology sales? What will be your message to them about coming to Oracle?
Yeah, so I think my message to them and advice to anyone looking to get into technology, to sales as a career, is to, before deciding which company to go to, whether it's Oracle or not, is really determine, hey, what fulfills me as an individual? What motivates me every day? Because you'll spend countless hours throughout your life in this field. And if that aligns, again, to skills, like I said, relationship building, problem solving at a corporate level, or even just diving deeper into this innovative technology or emerging technology that we're going to continue to see in the market, then I think Oracle and other key players is a great space to land. And I think as long as you are, wherever it is, Oracle or not, feel like you're being challenged, feeling like that growth and learning opportunity is there, then that's when you should really stick with it. I have countless friends and colleagues too from other places that they say, hey, I work for a really great company. Maybe they pay me pretty okay. Just kind of getting bored in my day-to-day role. Or, hey, I've been here for 5 years and it's been fine, but not sure where I'm going. And I just think, hey, as an individual, where you have your whole life of potential and millions of companies to work with, you want to make sure that you're focused on your own development and success.
All right. So give us a tip. That was a great story, Sarah. So
Yeah.
give us a tip that you took away from some of those stories.
Sure. Okay. Hard to boil into one tip. I'll give you maybe a couple takeaways though. So one takeaway I had from that experience, like I said, working with some of these early on AI companies at Oracle, was that one, the importance, ability, and openness to be agile and confident in a different type of sales motion is really critical. That if and when your goal as a seller is to be at the tip of the spear, excuse me, of innovation, then being willing to pivot how you've known how to sell in the past will only continue to make you successful. And so that's something I had to learn, like I said, from not experiencing companies, let alone sales cycles that were similar on the AI side, and just be willing to kind of take a leap of faith and to lead without, maybe knowing how to fully solve a problem, with always, knowing that it's rooted in the intention of helping a given company or a customer get to their end goal. But, that said, I think the main takeaway from this experience is that, even at a large enterprise such as Oracle, that the Oracle type of company will pivot and point resources and strategic alignment to initiatives that is ultimately valuable, even if it's not an existing focus for the company. And so if you work for a company that values that innovation, like I said, the nature of emerging technology, it should be feasible to shift and take advantage of the brand, network, and resources that a large enterprise such as Oracle could provide. But ultimately, mobilize quickly in a specific field or area, whether that's AI or not, right? That the market is trending towards. And, me as someone relatively early on in my tech sales career, this was extremely refreshing, reassuring, and ultimately like it's inspiring, right? Because it told me that if I have something I'm working on that is exciting, I think has massive potential for growth, and that I really truly believe in, that I as an individual can have an impact.
That's a great story. And actually, I like as I'm listening to this. Oracle's been around for over 50 years, I guess. And it's some of the major, almost every company has invested in Oracle at some level. And a lot of the company's data systems are based on Oracle. And, the sales process in a lot of cases, it's like you got to make certain moves and then you have to influence a whole bunch of people. And then there's other organizations. I like the way you said, because of this particular custom set, the AI innovators, the new AI companies, you were right at the table with the CXO suite at these companies. And you didn't, I mean, obviously this is a sales process, of course, but you were right there right away as a partner, helping them get products to market that they're looking to bring to market. It has been a whoosh almost. And many people have said that the new AI revolution is the biggest impact on the technology world since the launch of the internet. So I just want to acknowledge you for that. Do you want to say something else?
Well, I was just going to add, right? I think going to my experience, that was really a major shift too, from being a normal seller. Hey, let's get a deal done. Let me just, basically procure whatever services that you need, to actually becoming a true partner to these companies and to, I guess, innovating with them and creating new solutions down the road. And that's, again, where I was lucky enough that I've worked for a company that's willing to back that vision, even though I'm one of, hundreds of thousands of employees here.
That's great. And actually gives you the opportunity to really make a difference. All
Right.
right. Once again, I want to thank Sara Chen. My name is Fred Diamond. This is the Sales Story and a Tip podcast.